Good morning, everybody. This is Steve Fletcher with a Trumpet for My People. Today is January 31st, 2020. And I'm going to share this video with you. I'm going to start backwards to the end where I found myself at the end of the video. I'm going to start here and I'm going to work backwards. And then when I get halfway through, I'm going to go back to the beginning of the video where I started it. Hopefully, you can follow my line of thinking and what I'm going to be sharing with you through this video. So this is where I came at the end of the video. As I was preparing this information, I ended up right here. But to draw you into what I'm going to be sharing with you, I'm going to start here and I'm going to work backwards. Well, anyway, okay, so we have a very important prophecy, which is the prophecy of the 70 weeks. 70 weeks are decreed for your people and your holy city to finish the transgression, to put an end to sin, to atone for iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal both vision and prophet, and to anoint a most holy place. The prophecy of the 70 weeks. Now, 70 weeks can also be seen as 490 days, 70 weeks. And as I'm watching connections, quite possibly to February 2nd, 2020, and I'm going to share more with you why we continue to watch this day as a possibility of a major disaster day or a major prophetic fulfillment day. If we go back from the Super Bowl Sunday, February 2nd, 2020, 490 days, which is 70 weeks, okay, we're going to be brought to the week, which is also the last day, September 30th, September 30th, 2018, we're going to be brought to the last day that the replica Baal of Arch, the Arch of Palmyra, the Arch of Baal, was on display in Washington, D.C. from September 26th to September 30th. In ancient times, if you wanted to go to the Temple of Baal in Palmyra, you had to pass through this arch, and you would also pass through this arch again on your way out. So this is the Arch of Baal from Palmyra, Syria. It was on display in Washington, D.C. from September 26th to September 30th. Okay, now I'm going to share some connections with you about Baal connected to February 2nd that go beyond this. But I wanted to start out by showing you that if we go back from Super Bowl Sunday, February 2nd, 2020, go back 490 days, 70 weeks, we're brought exactly to the last day that the Arch of Palmyra was in Washington, D.C., okay? Are you following me with what I'm sharing now? Okay, now let me go back to the beginning of the video, and I'll continue sharing with you. Okay, let's go back to Donald Trump's statement that he made on January 27th, which was one day before the peace plan was revealed. And he said, you have 6 weeks to implement the peace plan. Okay, we have to look at this in a number of different ways. We could look at it as 6 weeks exactly, or 42 days. It could possibly mean 6 days. 6 days. Taking us from January 27th to February 2nd. Then we have another 6-week connection. We have a connection to 6 weeks based on Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day is the day where the groundhog emerges from its burrow on this day, sees its shadow due to clear weather, and it will retreat to its den, and winter will persist for 6 more weeks. And if it does not see its shadow because of cloudiness, spring will arrive early. So this is another connection to the end of winter. Groundhog Day, it's connected to a 6-week time frame. It's also connected by 6 days from Donald Trump's statement. Okay, so we're watching all angles of when things may happen. But if we look at, okay, let's look at Donald Trump and his age. Okay, we're gonna now, I'm gonna now connect Baal with you to February 2nd. I'm gonna connect Baal to February 2nd for you in this video. Watch what happens, okay? Watch what happens. Let's look at the age of Donald Trump, okay? The age of Donald Trump on February 2nd. We know that Donald Trump's age is prophetic. He was born 700 days before the birth of Israel. He was born under a blood moon. At his inauguration, he was 70 years, 7 months, and 7 days old, okay? And so if we look at his age on February 2nd, let's look at all the connections here. February 2nd, 2020, 26,896 days. 26 is the number of Yahweh, and 896 is the number of Baal. Okay? Now, I just showed you that there are 490 days from February 2nd connecting us to the Arch of Baal, which was Washington, D.C., connecting us again to Donald Trump and the importance of Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States, 490 days, 70 weeks, and 896 is the number of Baal. Now, look at this, the way this is written. Baal is the chief deity of the Phoenicians and other Semitic nations. The chief deity. Okay, Baal, the chief deity. Okay. Now let's look at this tweet by Donald Trump on January 29th, this week. Okay, the day after the peace plan was revealed. Let's look at this tweet, this tweet that Donald Trump sent, and let's look at the last statement. Nancy Pelosi wants Congress to take away authority presidents use to stand up to other countries and defend Americans. Stand with your commander-in-chiefs. Okay, let's analyze this last phrase in Donald Trump's official Twitter account, okay? This is Donald Trump, okay? This is not a mockery of Donald Trump. This is Donald Trump himself saying, stand with your commander-in-chiefs. Okay, let's examine that statement. Stand with your commander-in-chiefs, okay? Number one, the word is chief. It would be commander-in-chief. If he wanted to say there were two commanders-in-chief, it would be commanders-in-chief. It wouldn't be commander-in-chiefs. But he said commander-in-chiefs. Now, we know that on February 2nd, at the Super Bowl, okay, the Chiefs are playing. Baal is connected. It's the chief deity of the Phoenicians, Baal. Donald Trump says commander-in-chiefs. Maybe another way he's pointing to Sunday. Stand with your commander-in-chiefs. Okay, maybe he's pointing to Sunday through this. Okay. And if we go back from February 2nd, okay, February 2nd, and we go back 896 days, which is the value of Baal, okay? Donald Trump's age, 26,896 days. 896 means Baal. And if you go back 896 days, it brings you to the Great American Eclipse, August 21st, 2017. Add to this information what I just shared with you at the beginning of the video. Okay? The Arch of Baal was in Washington, D.C. 70 weeks. Okay, we have the Great American Eclipse connected by the number of Baal to February 2nd. And we have the Arch of Baal connected to February 2nd by 70 weeks, 490 days. Okay? Going back September 30th, 2018 to February 2nd, 2020, it's 490 days or 70 weeks. 70 weeks are decreed for your people and your holy city to finish the transgression, to put an end to sin, to atone for iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal both vision and prophet, and to anoint a most holy place. So there's a lot of connections. Baal, can you imagine how we find a connection to the Arch of Baal? 70 weeks to the day, 490 days from the Arch of Baal in Washington, D.C. to February 2nd, 2020. And Donald Trump's age connects us to Baal. And the Great American Eclipse is connected by 896 days to February 2nd, 2020. I'm just sharing what I see. I truly pray you are blessed today. This is Steve Fletcher with the trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.